That's another thing people have been talking about here. Ederson's not playing, but I think he's a really, really good goalkeeper. And in these odd games, if you like, I don't know how he's going to be like in a whole season. Ederson he's fantastic for Man City with that. But every time he's played, he's impressed me. And knowing Arsenal at set pieces are so good, for the goalkeepers to come out and grab the ball and just just help his team out there, that's fantastic.
Yeah, you can see, can't you, why Bayern Munich were interested in him, as well as a number of goalkeepers in the summer. Here's his 10th start this season. He's played in 5 different competitions. 0-0 the score between Manchester City and Liverpool. And Arsenal. Liverpool earlier with a win. Here's Guardiola on the left-hand side. Deep cross from him. It's over. Haaland, that's headed away by Jesus. Comes out to Akanji. Akanji then back to Bernardo Silva. Near the corner of the penalty area. Declan Rice is on him. Back it comes square. Bernardo Silva. Rodri towering over everyone in that central area. Now Kevin De Bruyne back towards the centre circle where Ake just teases the ball to his right. Diaz is there once again. Diaz with his left arm bandaged, his left hand, and then Rodri, Kovacic turns the full 360 degrees. Arsenal have got everyone behind the ball in their defensive third. Remains goalless. Akanji to Bernardo Silva, has a look over his shoulder both ways, and then turns to set off at Kivior. He's got support there to his outside from Akanji. Diaz, little tap from him with the left foot. Akanji took his eye off it, and Jesus was in as quickly as can be to block it out for a throw. And I think he might have just caught Akanji there as well, just flexing his right foot. He was a little bit of a doubt, Akanji, after the internationals, played in one of the games for Switzerland. Here is Bernardo Silva. Down the line to Akanji, then back to Bernardo Silva again. This is all on the right-hand side as Manchester City attack. Foden centrally now comes to receive the ball, and it's deflected away to the halfway line. So 0-0 here in the Premier League. What about our featured match in the Premiership? Adam Whitty.
Sale of thrashed Exeter 41-5 to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot. Brutal display of physicality. Hat-trick for Tom Roebuck. A 6-try bonus point win for the Sharks. 8 teams still going for 4 spots with 4 games to go. Full time. Sale of walloped Exeter by 41 points to 5.
Whistles here after a foul on Bernardo Silva near the halfway line. Manchester City take the free kick quickly. In the Women's Six Nations, Ireland 14, Italy 27 is the latest score. Now here is Phil Foden, number 47 on his back. Phil Foden having this excellent season, 18 goals in all competitions for Manchester City, his best ever. Bernardo Silva now begins to move forward again. Once again, the point of attack is down the right-hand side. Akanji then infield towards Diaz. Great measure and composure about Pep Guardiola's team
utilizing
here. Rodri, patience as well. Diaz to Akanji. Then back to Kevin De Bruyne. Flicks it back to the outside. Akanji, and then in steps Gabriel Jesus to win it back. Arsenal haven't cleared it yet, which they do eventually through Kivior. That is just going to give possession back to Manchester City. And actually with Saka trying to reach it, although it's bounced to Havertz. And Havertz now passes it over the halfway line to Saka. But Guardiola, an excellent challenge. Went to ground, but took the ball, took it away from the Arsenal top scorer.
And he'd be relieved because it was him giving the ball away, and that was actually an opportunity for Arsenal to counter. And it was the right person who got the ball. Saka with the pace. Arsenal playing really well now. The concentration is fantastic. But I just going back to when I played myself, we always used to try to keep the ball as much as we could. And when we were up against teams that were doing better than us, I always found it very uncomfortable to be under that kind of pressure. And the level of concentration that you have to put in is so great, if you like. And it's going to be interesting to see if Arsenal keep this up, because they're not really playing this game, they're basically just defending it.
It does genuinely feel as it should, as though the stakes are high. Vardiol towards Foden, but his pass is a little short, drawn from the home stand.
You know what? This is like the third time that Foden's given the ball away. He looks a little bit frustrated. I don't know why. He's kind of argued with a few players once with Vardiol and now with Haaland, but he gave the ball away.
David clears from the edge of the area, but that floats over Saka, and out of play from Manchester City throw. Also full time in the day's Super League match, which finished London Broncos 6, Huddersfield 26. So London still bottom of the table. Long pass from Rodri. Through
on the monitor there. Guardiola, he walked back from the technical area and sat down next to his assistant. He does look happy. He looks like he looks a little bit. He looked actually very angry. I was just as I was saying that. I thought he was going to throw the ball. He did. He contained himself.
He's got to his feet, and he's walked with a very measured walk. He's slapping his feet down as he walks to the edge of the area, and he's got his hands in his pockets. The body language is not good. Arsenal hooking the ball away, Saliba, Rodri heading it towards the far side, and then Guardiola is trying to get back at him. It's like a...
I don't know what Pep is unhappy about, because this is how they play. This is every game they play. It's like this.
You want a bit more zip, maybe in the play?
It's not that easy. There's no space to play.
Sitting back.
I mean, this is happening every time he's putting his team out. It's all about wearing the other team down, and they're very good at that. So I don't know at this point in the half why he looks so unhappy.
0-0, Manchester City 0, Arsenal 0. He's won all 8 of his home matches against Manchester City in the time against Arsenal, in the time that he's been Manchester City manager. De Bruyne now on the right. De Bruyne's low ball in, but that's cleared away by Jorginho on the edge of the penalty area, and then good work from Havertz. Rice just on his heels though. Rodri was in. That's a little win. Rodri against Rice, the much billed confrontation, and here he is again. Rodri, 2 goals against Brazil for Spain on Tuesday night in that 3-3 draw in Madrid. Akanji now on the right hand side. Rodri makes himself available. De Bruyne, a lovely little reverse pass. Akanji's cross though is straight into Kivior, who's able to control and clear it away to the halfway line. But effectively this is like attack against defence. Manchester City, the champions, against the now former leaders for the time being, Arsenal, after Liverpool took over at the top. Diaz, right-footed ball, high, angled out to Gvardiol, who gets it down up against Ben White. Ben White sticking closely to him over there in the Arsenal right-back area. Foden, then back towards the halfway line, and Rico Lewis is being called for by Pep Guardiola with, well, not 25 minutes on the clock, so someone you would think has to have a problem. Rodri steps inside, just overran it, and then Arsenal were all over Rodri and took the ball away from him. And now Odegaard racing over the halfway line, passing it forward towards Havertz. Saka's available in the middle. Jesus joins the attack as well. Havertz still in possession. Then to Jesus, slips it forward. Havertz slides in on the goalkeeper. Ortega has been able to grasp the ball, but Havertz has collided into his chest possibly and stayed down.
Really good play by Arsenal, winning the ball and countering. This is what Arsenal, they're waiting for. Ball got to Jesus, he passed it in to Havertz. I think Havertz got every right to go for that ball. I don't think there was any malice as that, but it was brave goalkeeping by Ortega. Yeah. Actually, just looking at the replay there, Havertz know that he's not going to get the ball and he's trying to pull out of it. So not bad. Great goalkeeping, by the way.
Yeah, you wouldn't have any issues there, Peter, if someone had they had the right to go for that, Havertz.
No, I think he had the right. It's actually Ake
he ended up with a problem. So that's clearly what the issue was. So they're having to make a change. So maybe that's part of the reason for the annoyance that there's another injury there.
Yeah, could be.
And Ake started both matches for the Netherlands.
Yeah. And actually, in this counter attack, I was just gonna say what clever play by him, because he dropped down and actually stopped Jesus from going in on goal himself in that counter attack. And in that situation, he didn't look like he was injured, but he's limping off now. Clearly something not right there.
No, and he shakes his head as he reaches Pep Guardiola, who looks down in that black polo neck and rubs the top of his shaven head. And Rico Lewis is onto the field, who was eventually called up to the senior England squad, having played for the under-21s over the course of the last week. A new substitute for England, but hasn't had a great deal of football in the second half of the season.
No, but he did play in the game in against Arsenal, and he started the game against Arsenal in October, and played quite well.
Yeah, no, he certainly as Kovacic does well against Saka. They enjoyed that long ball forward for Haaland to challenge Gabriel, and now De Bruyne's onto this on the halfway line. And then he is very, very firmly challenged by Gabriel, who stepped in on the Manchester City captain, conceded the free kick, and the locals there in the stands closest to it are howling about this, and he's caught him around the knee with his left foot. Free kick, no more.
Free kick. Anthony Taylor is trying to keep this game flowing and not reacting with a lot of yellow cards. Well, now I think there should be a yellow card.
Now Bernardo Silva, with his heels on the white line, actually touched the ball past Kivior, tried to go round him, and was bundled off the pitch. It's a free kick. Anthony Taylor again is giving himself time here. He's coming across, and Bernardo Silva, I see, is talking with the assistant Gary Bezic, and pleading his case to him.
I was just praising Anthony Taylor for letting the play go, but that again was a very, very cynical foul committed by Kivior, and I think he should have been booked. And I think maybe now it's the next big sort of challenge. He needs to give a yellow card for that, because if it carries on like this, we'll see something very nasty very soon, I think.
Free kick from out on the right for Manchester City. 0-0 the score. In it comes, headed down and away by Havertz. It has finished West Ham 0, Brighton 0 in the Women's Super League, by the way. And at half-time, we will, I would expect, hear from Jurgen Klopp, Roberto De Zerbi, after that exciting game where Liverpool came through by 2-1, having been a goal down for some time in the match. So that is coming up at half-time. Ireland 21, Italy 27, the final score in the Women's Six Nations. 0-0 here. Not a match so far of many goal-scoring opportunities, not unlike the match that they were involved in at the Emirates in the autumn. And here is Havertz, who shows exceptional footwork in a close area, middle of the field. Kivior, who perpetrated that latest foul on Bernardo Silva, but still no yellow cards in the match. Odegaard receives it from his goalkeeper. Declan Rice now to Kivior, but he just taps it back into the middle of the half. So Arsenal in possession, halfway inside their own half. Let's get another update from the Arsenal-Chelsea Cup final. Maz Faruqi.
There is a big pause in play here, John, forgive me. Troubling scenes. Frida Marnham's gone down off the ball. There was no one near her. Shouts for paramedics to attend to her very, very quickly. They've got to stretch her out. She's surrounded by 6 or 7 support staff at the moment. So we've had a pause for several minutes now, significant minutes. We're into the 99th minute here now. We will still play on, but obviously all our thoughts at the moment with Frida Marnham. Unclear at the moment exactly what happened. Still 0-0.
Okay, thank you, Maz. We'll have more on that in due course. Listen on Sports Extra, watch it on BBC Two, and we will indeed hear from Jurgen Klopp and Roberto De Zerbi at half-time. 0-0. Manchester City 0, Arsenal 0. Peter Schmeichel alongside us on 5 Live in the World Service. Listen as well on BBC Sounds as De Bruyne now lazily carries the ball through the middle, goes past 2 players. It's blocked by Saliba on the edge of the area. Foden can't get there, and he's able to work it away. It's just lifted forward by White, and White is going to get there first, and Saka plays it down the right wing for White to continue his run, but he angles it back in field towards the Arsenal captain and the Norwegian Odegaard with his arms swinging back to White, right foot across from him. Kivior actually angles it back to Jesus in the D. Jesus, left foot shot, wide.
What a great counter-attack again by Arsenal, and it comes from Ben White again. Ben White crossing the ball to Kivior. I think White's Kivior not having a shot. He's got an opportunity inside the box, but on his right foot. But what he did instead was to lay it up for Jesus, who took 1, 2, 3 good touches, and on his left foot just put it just wide of Ortega's left-hand post. But another big chance on a counter for Arsenal.
Good chance that.
All comes from Ben White. Ben White's doing really well.
Excellent.
He should be in the England squad.
Shouldn't he just, Peter? Although I suspect with a European Championship draw and a group that features England and Denmark, you're not losing too much sleep over that.
I'm not.
No, I thought you weren't. Manchester City 0, Arsenal 0. Yes, we'll be there, won't we, Peter? Looking forward to that. So all of the matches, all of the coverage, 5 Live, and indeed the World Service this summer, which feels not too far away. Odegaard plays it through the middle, hits the back of Rice though, and it bounces down for Guardiol, who will take it away from Bukayo Saka, and then back to the edge of the penalty area, and it is Diaz who has the ball at his feet, just gives it to his left to Rodri, who drops deep, and then Kevin De Bruyne now in a sort of left centre position for the time being. They're just trying to find the space. This Arsenal team that were top this morning, have won the most matches in the Premier League this season, scored the most goals, conceded the fewest, scored the most away goals, conceded the fewest away goals, yet they're the outsiders, Peter.
They are.
Despite all of that.
Well, they are, only because they've not done it for many years.
Exactly.
This team hasn't won anything for years.
Here's Kovacic playing it through, but overhits that all the way through to Raya, who comes out and picks up. But it's occasions like this, matches like this, that make people begin to change their mind. I remember very well sitting inside this ground when Leicester City came and won here in that famous season. Ball played out to Ben White, to Saliba, and Saliba passes it forward for White, but passes it straight off the field. And that's more to Pep Guardiola's liking, clapping his hands.
Yeah, not to Arteta though. He turned around and started to shout at his bench.
I bet.
Gesturing, like what is he doing?
Kovacic.
But they're pressing really well. When Man City don't have the ball, when they lose it, they how quickly they attack. It's very impressive to sit and watch. They win it back very early, or they get, the Arsenal players to make mistakes, as we saw there.
But if you just switched on, expecting thrills and spills between Manchester City and Arsenal, let me tell you, this is a tight match between two Premier League title contenders. Manchester City dominating the possession, but Arsenal have had more of the better chances so far. City on the halfway line, Kovacic back towards the edge of the area, but it's a wayward ball, and he's given it to Odegaard. Diaz couldn't get there. Odegaard back to Rice now to Jesus, edge of the box, takes on Lewis, still going in the D. Lewis goes to ground, still shoots, blocked, comes out across the penalty area. Havertz, Kivior, and now Manchester City are back in numbers, and the offside flag goes up. Careless. Manchester City
careless.
Could have cost them.
Very careless back pass. I think Kovacic wanted to pass it back to Ortega, but it was half hit, and it was given straight to Odegaard, who passed it into Declan Rice, who then gave it to Jesus, who went across the 18-yard line, took 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, tried to find space to have a shot, and eventually it was given to Kivior, and he was offside. But again, Arsenal very quick on the break, and I think this is Arsenal's chance. If they can keep doing this, defend deep, defend well, and then get those breaks, there might be a chance.
Notable challenge for Gabriel on Haaland on the halfway line. That set off an Arsenal attack. Saka on the right hand side, back centrally to Rice gets it back. Oh no, just steps in Rodri, and then it's taken away by Odegaard on the edge of the area. Jesus scoops it into the box, but Ortega's quickly
Saka
out.
is so angry with Odegaard. Odegaard took it away. It was a great shooting opportunity for Saka, and for some reason Odegaard decided to take the ball away from him. Saka was on inside the D, and it was on his left foot. It was a little bit in the air for a nice volley, and he was just about to pull the trigger, and Odegaard came in and took the ball away, and it ended in nothing.
Yeah, took it off his toe. But what about the challenge by Gabriel on Haaland on the halfway line? Here's another chance, the two of them together. Gabriel stretches, is able to get his head to it, bounces up Saliba, and then Jorginho turns it out to Ben White, who will see Saliba clear it away, but straight to Kovacic. Manchester City back in possession again. Gvardiol, and then a touch from Foden. Now Kovacic moving it in from the left-hand side. Right-footed pass to Bernardo Silva. He flicks it onto his right foot, but then it sticks to his left, almost like glue. Little touch with his right foot. Back to Rodri. Rodri, square from him to Kovacic. Drags it back. Square. Again, Bernardo Silva sets off on a run towards the edge of the penalty area, into the box now, left-footed cross, that is blocked by Arsenal, several players. It's very congested in there. So far this has been an exceptionally disciplined performance from Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, defended in numbers and then countered effectively. Guardiola
and they literally haven't made a mistake yet, any of the Arsenal players, in defending like that. The mistakes, they've been coming from Man City, and those are the chances that Arsenal's had. They come off Manchester City mistakes. Good concentration by Arsenal, I have to say.
And Arsenal will sense that as well, won't they, Peter? As Gvardiol crosses from the left-hand side, Haaland gets up, but Gabriel was with him as well. But he's headed it wide from, 6-7 yards out.
Yeah, it's a good cross in, but Haaland is static. It's impossible, up against Gabriel or Saliba. It's impossible to score from that. He needs to be moving a little bit and get run-ins on these crosses. It was a great cross in.
Strong defending as well.
It is. I mean,
Gabriel
they are the partnership between the two of them. It's just developing. It's really evolved.
That slip by Raya as he clears the goal kick. Haaland up against Rice, who puts his hip into him. Haaland goes down. It's a free kick, and some of the Manchester City body language, there are arms in the air, more arms in the air, Akanji as well. It's a free kick.
I think Haaland is upset because Rice again stopped him. He actually made a really good turn, and he stopped him from actually coming into a shooting position, even though it's 25 yards out. I mean,
City players clearly think that's the one that should have brought the yellow card.
Yeah, and it
hasn't.
It's a third time we see like a cynical foul stopping Manchester City from actually getting into a good position.
Yeah, just use his hip, Rice. Free kick then, De Bruyne over everyone, but it's kept in play by Akanji near the dead ball line on the left hand side, and then Akanji plays it back out of the penalty area to Lewis, who typical Rico Lewis, he's taken over as right back, so Akanji's gone into central defence after Ake had to go off, but the 19-year-old Rico Lewis is so adaptable. And now Rodri to the left hand side, half time approaching. 6 minutes away plus added time, still goalless, few chances, and Kevin De Bruyne now with a pass that bounces out to Bernardo Silva on the right. Bernardo Silva up against Kivior, goes as tight as he can, weaving one way and the other, little Portuguese, and then back from him to Diaz to Akanji on the right hand side. Akanji looks up, low ball in at head height.